we're travelers, we're pilgrims on a road, and our paths cross, and it's like I take out my notebook and I say, "Hey, what have you seen? Oh, I missed that. Maybe I'll go back and look." Oh, and that fellow pilgrim is saying, "Well, what did you see while you were there?" And it's like we're on the same journey, the journey to wholeness, the journey to remembering. But your experiences, my experience,
Mm-hmm.
different. And as we share them, it's um, giving us experiences indirectly, even though we're the same consciousness. It's your unique consciousness that had that experience, and now you're telling me about it. So I've had it too, although indirect.
Yes, I'm thrilled to have you here, Victor, with me and with the listeners. Really very honored to have you here. I've heard so many good things about you by other LinkedIn members, friends of mine.
Yes, we have some mutual friends. Actually, we were together on a heart-based leadership
Yes.
pod. I don't know, maybe a year ago, but I know Colin has been on your show, and
Mm-hmm.
I Zoom with him about once a month for
Mm.
kinds of conversations with no agenda other than to co-create,
Yes.
as you so aptly described. That's what these conversations are. They're opportunities to co-create and be present to one another. And I just want to assure you, although I probably don't have to, that I am completely in the now moment with you. I have um, um, no distractions, none at all. Other than I'm going to close my Outlook account this way in case it beeps.
I do that too.
Yeah.
I've put my dog is outside and I'm here. Everything is off. That should be off because for me it's also very important to be here when co-creating, and usually always trying to be in my heart in the now when having conversations with people because it's um it's a respect also to be able to to be there for them, whatever it is, whoever they are. But I also see that when you are like this in the now, you integrate all the conversations, you integrate the information, and you don't forget. Because as you are in the now, as you are in the present moment, sharing and receiving, every cell of your body is receiving as well. So there's no not to be afraid that you will forget something, especially when I'm working with my teams and I'm in with them in one-to-one conversations. Surely I know down things, but I remember because I've been there with them in that moment.
Yes. And the way I would process that is if your mind is distracted, even if it's because you're trying to think, well, what's the next thing I want to say? Your attention, your awareness is less, and you don't fully appreciate what that exchange is at that moment. And you may be prone not to remember it in the richness and fullness that was actually there, but you were too distracted and busy to appreciate that. And I did want to make sure that I said or told you that because I've listened to some of your other podcasts, and Gail, of course, has spoken so highly of you, um, that you, your energy is one of being grounded and connected and in that still point. And it's very, it's very noticeable to me, because I could read energy a little bit, but I'm fond of saying, as many people are, I see you. And by that, I see the divine essence within you, and your light shines brightly. I mean, these are, little colloquial expressions,
But I know.
but it's hard to miss. And
Mm.
that in and of itself, I think, draws people in. They want to pay attention. They say, hey, there's something this something deeper than the typical shallow kind of conversation to pay attention to, and be aware of. So
I appreciate you, and I thank so much what you're saying. It has gone into my heart because my eyes were tearing because I feel you and I see you as well. Your energy is so profound and so beautiful, and I'm receiving it with an open heart. And as you are speaking, yeah, you're filling it up, and I really am very grateful for that and for having you here. And I say it really because um, I feel your energy, and I remember talking to you and having you met that about 1 year ago. I remember that because I loved your energy, and I said to myself, one day Victor will be sitting with me, co-creating a conversation.
yeah, this is the perfect day.
This is the day. Yes, this is the day. Everything comes when it has to come.
Mm, yes. You know, because this happened so suddenly, you reached out just a couple
Yes.
days ago, and boom, here we are, which is wonderful. It
Yeah.
feels even that much more spontaneous. But it it caused me to reflect on something, and I'm sharing these thoughts for the very first time, that are insights that are helpful for me, and I'm um, anxious to hear how they sound to you.
Mhm.
I I often talk in terms of presence, and I feel you have a lot of presence. Um, and to me, an aspect of that is being present in the now moment. Present and presence, similar sounding, but not really the same, but related. So I was the insights had to do with different aspects of the self.
Mhm.
And here, when I use the term the self, I am referring to the package of the divine self and the human self that are, together. Um, in the human self, I often, um, distinguish between mind and body, but they're a package deal too, so you can't
Mhm.
separate them. But for purposes of this conversation, you'll understand why I am separating them. Because in my own experience, I can be present and embodying presence,
Mhm.
um, more in the mental part of myself. So I could be fully attentive to the task at hand, very focused, very much everything else gets blanked out, and I am present, but
Mm-hmm.
in a mental way. Similarly, I could be present in an emotional way, usually if I am there's sort of like an empathic relationship to whatever it is. It could be another person. And there's that heart connection that you often refer to. And there's nothing else other than that at the moment, that that emotional connection. And it could be you could just be watching someone holding a baby,
Mm-hmm.
or you could just, I love to listen to, there's a playground not far, a street and a half over, but I could hear the kids during recess
Mm-hmm.
and they're squealing and they're
Yeah.
laughing, and it's like, oh, I'm connected right then at that moment. But it's not in my mind, it's in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me joy. My heart sings, as the way I like to put that.
Yeah.
Then there's another aspect of presence at the soul level,
Mm-hmm.
where the soul essence, the divine essence, is fully present to the moment. And that just the effect that I feel with that is awe, reverence, humility, and it's not thinking, and it's beyond thinking and emotion to it's just soul stirring, and that's a different type of um, presence in the present moment. And I mean, and I don't think you can have the mind engaged.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about mindful awareness, which I think is great. But I think that there's a type of awareness that um, there's no mind at all. It's just, ah, ah. I mean, you can't, there's no words that even go with it because, words are mental constructs as well. So these were the insights that I had from last night to this morning.
Nice.
They're fresh.
Beautiful.
But it makes sense to me. And now when I think about presence, I'm appreciating it more.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The last way you said about presence is when I was there when you were speaking before, because I wasn't in my mind. I was super open-hearted, but I wasn't thinking, I was just receiving, and it was beyond anything I could explain, and that's why my eyes teared. It's not that I was thinking any, I was just receiving this energy and this wholeness you were giving me. I was receiving through the heart, but it went beyond the heart.
Yeah.
And I was totally here.
And I think that um, the the recognition, the awareness of this is a reflection of the growing integration between the human self and the divine self.
Yes.
And, and it's said that Jesus was fully human and fully divine. And that's the role model that I like because it doesn't um, diminish in any way the human aspect
Mm-mm.
of it. But when when we are integrated fully, that's kind of the richest human experience we can have because it is in co-creation literally with our
Yes,
divine self.
yes, it's amazing. And it's so beautiful you're saying that, because today, when I was coming back of swimming, swimming is when I swim, I'm present in the swimming, no? But when I get out and I shower and so on, then many insights come. And it's beautiful because I was aligning to this conversation, because I was thinking and I was feeling, I was saying, because I've been listening to out of body experiences, okay? And that we are capable of um, getting out of our body consciously and feeling who we are in our soul. Okay. So I was thinking, I was saying, okay, Jeannette, I wasn't able, still, I'm practicing, I wasn't able to get out of the body. I did it when I was 17, but now consciously during the night, I haven't been. But I was saying, you know what? The thing that it's happening to you is that you are connecting and co-creating on a daily basis. You're learning to already be your soul,
Mm,
yourself in
mm,
the day to day. So the connection already is there now, and you don't have to get out of the body. What you're doing is you're living it now. Humbleness, humbly said, because I really, but it was an insight that I got, and I said, ah, okay, I understand.
mm. It 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 makes me think of a little metaphor that I often reflect on for myself in my own life, but also share with other people. And that is, it's like we're driving in a car and there's our human self, which is, kind of the story we tell about ourselves, our egoic identity and all that stuff. And there's our soul consciousness,
Mhm.
and usually, or our higher self, usually the egoic part of ourselves is in the driver's seat. And we have free choice, free will. So the higher self may be saying, that's probably not the right place to turn, but we do it anyway. But eventually, if we can be in a place where we say, you know what, I'm going to move over, I'm going to let you be in the driver's seat because I like where you go. Feels good. And to me, that is part of our our life's journey is I'm going to switch to a different metaphor, but you'll understand why in a moment.
Mhm.
I think in terms of head, heart, and hands.
Mhm.
The hands are the action part. They'll do whatever either the head tells them to do or the heart tells them to do. And when the head is directing things, the heart is kind of like a second class citizen. It doesn't get an equal voice. But when the heart takes over, it's a matter of um, a different type of alignment. So everything that comes action-wise, or what the hands do, comes from the heart. And eventually, I think the head says, this is a way better way of living. I'm, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, you know, put my 2 cents in here, but it's shifting from thinking to feeling as a way to navigate.
Yes.
And then the because those are three H words, head, heart, and hands, I use three A words, um, uh, alignment, authenticity, and action.
Mm-hmm.
Action again is like the hands.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're aligned with the heart first, it's a more authentic way of being. And then what we do flows from that place of being. Because, sometimes people want to suggest that being and doing are somehow on opposite ends of the scale. I mean, you can do and act in ways that are not aligned with your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna, sorry, I changed the way I use authentic self because if I'm authentically being my human egoic self, I am authentic.
Also, no? Yes.
Well, but in the sense that if we are aligning with the higher self, the soul self, the heart-based self, then what we do that flows from that space, there's no separation. It's like an apple tree produces apples.
Mm,
A wood chopper chops wood. I mean, the doing parts of those things are just a expression of the state of being,
yeah.
the natural state of being. And so there really is no separation between being and doing.
Mm. I say that um, I was going to say that when you are being, you are doing. No? Because it's this one and the same.
Yes. Well, we are human beings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We are human beings. And like Colin said once, it was nice in one conversation. It's the be. It's the being, you know. Every moment it's be. So it's in the being is to be in the moment.
Yes. As opposed to do, and then you're in a lot of do.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And it's so beautiful. Yes, it's like you were saying, no, it's when the heart is leading, when we let the heart, when the mind lets the heart lead, only good things can come. And the actions and responses are always from the heart. The mind becomes a servant
Mhm.
because, like you said, the mind is recognizing the power of the heart and how much the mind also can grow through the heart.
Yes. And I think that that's um, a realization that doesn't happen right away.
Mhm.
That the mind kind of wants to be in control. And we need the ego to,
Yeah.
for so many reasons. And some spiritual, teachings say, well, you got to beat the ego into submission. You've got to, dismantle it, deconstruct it, and so on. I don't think so. I think that when you shift to the heart base, there's some initial kicking and screaming on the part of the ego, but then it realizes that no, I'm expanded
Mm-hmm.
by relinquishing control, by surrendering, by allowing. And I'm going to use an example, but it really applies universally because I think what's in the heart is love. And we just allow ourselves to be more loving. And when is love ever the wrong answer? I think it's never the wrong answer. And the mind is always thinking, well, is this someone I can love? Is is
Mm-hmm.
is this someone I can be vulnerable with? Is this, and it's kind of trying to put dampers on what we naturally want to do, which is love. And coming up with excuses why that's not the right way to be right now.
Yeah.
But you know, I would I would challenge your listeners when they're driving in their car and and cars are either passing them from the other direction or to either side of them, is just to think for a moment about the people in that car and say, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In fact, say it in your mind, but even get comfortable saying it out loud,
Yes.
because that kind of love is unconditional. You don't love the person who just cut you off less than the person who let you merge into traffic, because the mind is so full of judgments. It's so full of um, you know making these sorts of decisions. But when you stop tasking your mind with that, it's so liberating.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't have
It's
to
cleansing.
decide who to love, just love
No,
everybody.
yes, yes, it's like that. I remember I always put in my email with lots of love and gratitude, or I say I love you because I love you, you know? And some people get, I've heard afterwards, no? Like, oh, Jeannette, the first time you wrote that, it was a little bit, how can she put that in the email, no? And then they said, but I understand now. I know now. And I'm doing it also. I'm starting to do it also. Yes, because I love you. You know, it's a human being, and it's me giving of myself, and I'm in service to everyone else, and I love everyone else.
Yes. And because I know you know Colin well. Um, when we first connected, he concluded his um, initial message to me, I think, with love or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I got it. I can't wait to
Yes.
because I like to close messages and emails and things like in loving fellowship or
Mhm.
with love or in loving oneness, just expressing that. And you're absolutely right, some people it's off-putting and they it causes them to feel uncomfortable, but in a way I think those are the people who need to hear that the most.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Because I know when I drive my car or I walk in the supermarket and I just think to myself, walking down the aisles, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Nice.
It softens me. It
Yes,
opens.
so nice.
And if I'm agitated about something, it just it dissipates,
Mm-hmm.
because that's I just think um, the way I'm called to be, but I'd like to believe everyone is called to be that way.
Yes. I believe so. Everyone is called to be like that. Everyone is like that, no? This unconditional love and limitless potential within. Other
Mm,
thing is that we have blocked it. We have learned, we've been taught to limit that, not to show it, because if we show vulnerability, if we show all those things, people take advantage of us. And that's what we've been taught. So, and in reality, it's the other way around, because the more you are loved, the more you show who you are, no? Every moment, the more you give love, because we all are the same, the more, I don't want to, I would say the more powerful you are, but not powerful over anyone else. It's just that you are whole, As you are whole, no one can hurt you.
Yes. That's actually, I haven't read the entire Course in Miracles, but that's a point that is made in that book that um, when you feel attacked, understand that that is operating from your ego because your
Mhm.
divine self, it's infinity. There's nothing you can
Mhm.
do to subtract something from infinity and make it less
Mhm.
infinite. So there's nothing to defend.
Mhm.
It's basically, I like to say, I'm infinity in a confined space, and so
Mhm.
are you.
Yes.
So are you. So there's really nothing I can do to you, and there's nothing you can do to me that's going to change that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and and it's it's a concept that I think a lot of people have trouble with because the way they've been raised, because of the role models, because of the conditioned mind that says, no, I've got to protect myself because someone might be wanting to take advantage of me,
Mhm.
or someone, it might be somehow detrimental to me. Um, and yet, using our friend Colin again, I like the way he talks about just being a radiator.
Mhm.
You don't have to focus your light on anyone in particular. You just
Mhm.
radiate it, and then that has an effect. It has an effect because we're in energetically, we have a field that interacts with other people's fields that's in a greater field, and the energy that we exchange is happening all the time. And I think that when we're vibrating at a higher love frequency, that has effects on other people.
Yes, it does. It certainly does. I always think of planting the seed of love or the seed of co-creation. At the end, for me, all of this is co-creation. Since, like you said before, I'm co-creating with myself, higher self, and I'm co-creating with you in my wholeness, and I'm giving to you and I'm receiving wholeheartedly. So it's all about this giving and receiving and shining. And no matter if someone reacts to it, it doesn't matter. You have been radiating
Hmm.
who you are, and it has positively impacted somehow someone.
Well, I I easily um, marry love and co-creation because I feel love is the force of creation.
Yes,
So
yes, 100%.
when sharing love, we're co-creating because that's kind of what love does.
And it's entangled, it's everything, it's oneness. So it
Yeah.
has to be there. And the other one, you were talking about authenticity and the ego. No, the ego exists for us to be individuals, to learn, no, and expand. And for me, I use the word uniqueness
Mm.
because even we are the same, but we are unique with our skills and our gifts. And through our uniqueness is where we co-create, no? Because I might impact on you in a certain way because I'm unique, and you impact me because you are unique. And that's how we learn, no? Co-learn, co-create, co-evolve, and
Yeah. And just picking up on that
yeah.
because um, I believe in unity consciousness, and we're all expressions of the same consciousness, but all unique expressions, because I use that word also, of that consciousness. And um, if we think of different facets of the same diamond, it's like, well, what does the world look like from your facet? Well, what's reflecting in your facets a little bit different than my facet. So let's learn from one another, because this is how we grow and develop and appreciate the marvel of creation and the marvel of um, our whole existence and lives and experiences. Um, and I sometimes refer to these kinds of types of co-creative sharing as explorations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're travelers, we're pilgrims on a road, and our paths cross, and it's like I take out my notebook and I say, "Hey, what have you seen? Oh, I missed that. Maybe I'll go back and look." Oh, and that fellow pilgrim is saying, "Well, what did you see while you were there?" And it's like we're on the same journey, the journey to wholeness, the journey to remembering. But your experiences, my experience,
Mm-hmm.
different, and as we share them, it's um, giving us experiences indirectly, even though we're the same consciousness. It's your unique consciousness that had that experience, and now you're telling me about it. So I've had it too, although indirectly.
Yes. Yes. And it's since because of our uniqueness, it's a well, in our lives, so it's a different perception of things. No, so that's why we see things differently, even if we were in the same path.
Yes.
Uh,
And
Victor, just quick one because sorry, the doorbell is ringing, 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 and they just don't understand. I cannot open the door, but
okay,
I 2 minutes.
I will
Sorry.
enjoy this
Sorry.
and look for your return.
Thank you. Thank you. Since they were seeing the light on while they were seeing me because I have the street. But yes, yes. Sorry, it was about yeah, uniqueness and our perception of
Yeah. So the our understanding of not only the world but our place in the world is certainly informed by our perceptual awareness,
mm,
and yet it's just such a small sliver of what's happening energetically, um, and the interactions at all levels, of our physical body, our emotional body, um, and so on. I sometimes remind myself that um, the the parts of me that are responding to energetic inputs that I don't see or taste or smell or
mm,
hear. It's like my skin cells react to sunlight and adjust how much melanin, skin pigment they produce. That's all happening outside my awareness.
mm,
I mean, I could feel sunlight on my skin, but at the cellular level, and we know that DNA both absorbs and emits both photons and
Mhm.
phonons, which are sound particles.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so what's happening at that level, who knows? And then, of course, we've all had the experience. If you walk into a room and there's a lot of angry people, you're you don't perceive those emotions through your eyes or your ears, or well, people could be yelling, I guess, or making gestures at one another. So maybe you do perceive it through your eyes and your ears. But the point, and I know you understand it,
Mhm.
is there are um, energetic inputs that go far beyond what we perceive. And so I think we have to be cautious in limiting ourselves to our perceptual awareness because it's just a small piece.
Yes, I think that like you were saying, it's a small piece because the rest is so big, no? Much, much stronger and well, bigger. We just have to learn to perceive it, so to widen our perception to receive more of that. But certainly, yes, when we get into a room that it's the energy, it's the tense. It's the same as when I go into the city. I feel the density, I feel the
Mm.
tension that I don't have in the town I live.
Mm.
Or more because where I live, it's very green and very calm. So when I go into the city, it's this it's tense and it's this energy of running, and it feels it really, you feel it in every cell of your body, and you say, "Ooh, I don't feel so relaxed. There's something here that is bothering me," and it's the energy
Mm.
of the place.
Yes, yes. Where do you live?
I
You don't
live
know?
next to Barcelona in Spain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Yes, yes, it's nice. But the city, luckily, I don't live there anymore. The city is very hectic. Not hectic like New York. I lived in New York. It's dense,
Mm.
and it's yeah, it overwhelms somehow. It irritates, and you don't know if you're not aware, you don't know from where this irritation comes.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people um, aren't aware that,
Hmm.
their exchange of energy with their immediate environment certainly affects them, um, positively or negatively.
Hmm.
You know, I like to think that when we exchange energy, whether it's with another person or with, something in our external world, um, that there's different potential outcomes. There could be that exchange causes me to feel energy depleted.
Hmm. Yes.
That exchange could lead me to feel more energy. It could be neutral. But then on the other end, and we'll just say two people right now, then rather than person and environment,
Yeah.
that um, when you're exchanging energies with another person and they're taking away your energy and you feel that, or you're taking away their energy and you feel that too, because a lot of people that feels good to them.
Hmm.
But there are exchanges where it's not a win-loss, it's a win-win or a loss-loss. I
Hmm.
mean, most
True.
people feel energy depleted after their exchange. But like we're doing now, to me, there's a force amplification of love energy just in our exchange, and I'm aware of it. And I already had a lot of energy this morning because I've been very source connected for a couple of days.
Mm.
I try to be all the time, but some days I feel it more than others. Um, and to me, I'm going to carry this extra energy for a while.
Yeah, yeah. It does feel so good. Mm. Well, Victor, I really, 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 really appreciate you, love you, and I'm grateful for having had this co-creation with you from the heart to heart. I feel it. I'm very nurtured. I certainly will also keep this energy with me these days. And yeah, you align me, you have aligned me even more
Mm,
to my, to, yeah, to source or higher self. And I can feel it and I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
please give me the opportunity to tell you that I love you, but also that I um, appreciate um, the um, the integrity of knowing who you are and being who you are. Be all that you are. It sounds nice, but some people are able to do that more, um, I guess, consistently and express their divinity more openly. And I thank you for that because the world the world needs radiators like you.
Thank you.
Your
Thank you.
light shines brightly, sister.
Mm, thank you so much. And it is because of you, people like you, that I'm able to radiate stronger. And
Yeah,
I appreciate you
my,
because you are.
my eyes get a little teary.